My first thought was make sure that we had a place to stay. Once I knew we had that and we were able to do that, it was really, what is it gonna look like? And to be quite honest, from when we first got the directive that we were gonna play and we got our schedule to where we are now, getting ready to take our first road trip, the directives from our health professionals, from the CDC, from you name it, they've changed so much that it's really been evolving every week, every day, to be honest. Starting with this trip to Lubbock, when we're on the bus and when we go on the plane, those are areas that are of concern for us and obviously for the health officials, because we have to get on a bus and we have to get on a plane to go where we're going. But how do we mitigate that risk?
One way Texas is taking extra precaution is to limit who can travel on the team plane and instead bus as many people as possible to Lubbock. Another area for scrutiny is the seating chart on the flight.
I think probably the biggest thing is what I have learned about the contact tracing on an airplane, which is if a kid tests positive within 48 hours of being on that airplane, the 2 rows behind him and the 2 rows in front of him are going to get wiped out.
I was sitting with my staff and we literally had the seating chart up on a TV outside of our office, and we were playing like it was like a puzzle. You know, we're like moving people around and okay, can this person be behind that person? And and there's no perfect answer. I think the best place to start are with roommates, because if a roommate was to test positive, then those people in that household would then have to quarantine. Probably, in my opinion, one of the worst things to do is to put everybody in the same position next to each other, because then you're exposing yourself to a high risk there if something were to happen. So really, you're looking at how can you best distribute the roster that's coming with you so that you're not taking out a group of the same position. We don't have to turn in the seating chart until Thursday night, and Thursday ends at 11:59 p.m. on Thursday, so I might turn it in at 11:59 p.m. on Thursday.
Tom, will you request a seat for Sam in the cockpit?
He's going to fly on his own plane.
Now, even though Sam Ehlinger won't get his own plane, he will have his own hotel room, as will every single player that travels with the team.
Coach Herman always does bed check, and in the past it's only been about 35 rooms depending on how many guys we traveled. But the Thursday before the UTEP game, I said, okay, are you sure you want to do this, or do you want, we can split it up, we can have some other staff help? And he goes, no, I'll do it. And I said, no, do you understand, we have to check 80 rooms. And he's like, oh, well, he's like, yeah, well, let's go ahead, we'll do it. So we normally would only have 30 minutes for bed check in the schedule, but now we have to put it for an hour.
Team dinner and Family Friday have been put on hold for this season.
We get off the bus, we have an area that typically is in the ballroom or the largest space that we can find depending on the property, and we socially distance all of our chairs in there, and Coach Herman will gather them in that space, obviously everybody wearing masks, and he'll address them, and we make sure that there's no exposure over 15 minutes, and then they're literally dismissed.
Felt a lot different, and it stinks because that is my favorite day of the week during the season. I know it's a lot of our players' favorite day of the week, which are a time of decompression before the game, a time for fellowship and some fun with your teammates. And it was literally come in, I said a few words to them, and then get your food and go to your room. Not the way any of us had envisioned what Friday nights would look like prior to a game, but it's what we got to do in 2020.
They've followed everything that we've asked them to do. Guys see the fruits of their labor in terms of following the directives that we give them. And so when they can see that it's working, they know that it's worth it. Our players know that our best product on Saturday is going to be if we have healthy players. And so you're not wearing a mask for yourself, you're wearing it for others. You're not socially distancing for yourself, you're doing it for others. And so we preach that in our program, play for the guy to the left and right of you. Well, now it's, be safe, wear a mask, social distance for the guy to the left and right of you. And I think our guys have bought into that because they see the way things are going, and it's been positive so far.